Thanks for watching. On Thursdays, I like to show you several things, but one thing that I do on my podcast as the season progresses. By the way, I have a podcast. If you weren't aware, it's fairly popular. You can find it at harrisfootball.com. I'd love it if you'd listen. But one thing that I do as the season goes along is I start to talk about players who maybe haven't done much yet, but who are young and who have a chance to be good going into the future. And I call it Film Futures, and I thought I'd start today's video show showing you the guy I talked about on the podcast on Thursday. That is Seahawks rookie running back Rashaad Penny. So it's been terrible for him so far. He did have 11 and 10 touches in his first two games, sharing the lead job with Chris Carson. And since then, in week 4, Carson was hurt and Penny played 16 snaps. This week, Carson's questionable again with his bad hip, but even if he doesn't play, it's real hard to sell that you should use Penny, which is why on Monday's show on this YouTube channel, I reviewed Mike Davis's film. But I think you'll agree after watching Penny's film here on this show, just in terms of sheer athletic potential, Penny is far ahead of Davis, and I actually think ahead of Carson too. I like this Monday night run against the Bears from week 2. It's a 10-yard gain. Penny sees a crease. I wouldn't say he explodes through it, but you can see him cut on one leg when he gets to the second level. Not an electric cut, but the pursuing tackler there has to dive and just barely gets him. Of course, he does get him, but I think you'll agree Penny has some agility there. All right, quick break to talk about oral hygiene, because I'm going to talk about my Quip toothbrush. This is my actual Quip toothbrush. It's the Tesla of toothbrushes, because this is it. Okay, you turn it on by pressing the little button here. It's on, you hear that? I think you probably hear that. This is the Tesla of toothbrushes because this is all there is. There's no charger. It is kind of a game changer. I've been using an electric toothbrush for a long time, but having this guy means I got rid of the charger off of my sink, and it's fantastic. The way it gets recharged is you get a new brush head every 3 months when you subscribe with Quip, and it has the new charge embedded right in it. Plus, if you go to getquip.com/HarrisVideo right now, you will get your first recharge of your Quip toothbrush for free. I really think you should try it out. I freaking love this thing. I really thank Quip for sponsoring. Mostly, I just kind of want you to try it out. This thing is great. getquip.com/HarrisVideo. Okay, back at it with Rashaad Penny. I was kind of just going chronologically through all the film so far this year. This is a loss, but I see lateral acceleration, lateral agility. He has a slide step to him. Here he's basically met in the backfield by number 96, Akeem Hicks, who beats a double team and reaches out with one arm. And Penny sidesteps quickly, stays hunched, kind of ready to make another move. Now, there's no other move to be made. It goes nowhere. He gets avalanched. But that's a quick reaction, and that is some lateral agility. A play against the Cowboys that also winds up for no gain, but it's designed to go left. It's bottled up. You see how Penny's legs can make steps far outside his frame, but he can not slow down and, in fact, sort of bounce up into another cut. That's not Barry Sanders. It's not truly extraordinary, but this is a 220-pound running back, and laterally, I'd say, legs outside the frame, moving pretty good. That's okay. Just from this past week, this is a pitch out against the Chargers when he's moving laterally and then turning upfield. It sort of does have that look, like if he gets going, he's going to be a handful, accelerate around the edge, beat that last guy, take the corner, turn it up, hit somebody. I see potential for Penny, certainly to be an effective perimeter player, sort of like Tevin Coleman is, but maybe we're about to decide not with that kind of speed. And as far as the vision goes, and the speed, the acceleration goes, okay, take a look at this handoff out of shotgun. Right when he gets the ball there, by NFL standards, that's a fairly gaping hole for Penny to run through. It's true, Leonard Floyd is unblocked and headed toward the hole, but I don't know, what happens? Does Penny hit it hard? Does he accelerate and make it tough for Floyd to hit him? Maybe he's a little slow to recognize it, maybe a little slow to accelerate into it. I'm just going to say, imagine if Saquon Barkley had that crease to run through. Zoom. He'd be through it. He'd be making it really hard on the tackler. This one, first note that that's a nice vector adjustment by Penny to see green space to his right, avoid the mess in front of him and make a guy miss. But once again, you've made that cut. Go, accelerate, get through. You're not going to make someone miss in the hole every time. But he just seems to be too easy to find in the hole. Maybe the sin here was he pressed it too far into what was covered, right? And so that when he didn't give himself enough room once he was actually in the hole, or enough time, I guess. But yeah, just tackled, right? Two guys will sort of get him. Another one where just at the snap, we'll freeze it. That's more than just a crease. That's a hole. And yeah, two tacklers are going to get him. And like I said, you're not always going to make it through, but hit it. There's a pause there. Maybe he's thinking too much, not reacting. Maybe his legs just don't have the requisite juice to get through that hole north-south in just one or two steps. But if we show it again and we slow it down, see after how he makes the decision to go left into the hole, he pats his feet, sort of two extra small steps. Well, if we wonder why he was slow to get through that hole, that's probably it. So what I see? What I see is a pretty big guy with some pretty exceptional lateral quickness, some lateral agility. Why are we seeing such sluggishness going straight through a hole? I think that's what we have to find out, right? It could be that he was overweight, right? We had that rumor this summer. It could be that he's injured in some way, or it could just be that it's something he doesn't have. It's going to be a tool that he never has, and he sort of has what I call Buck Allen disease, where you're a big enough guy to hit it hard, but you kind of just never do. I'll tell you, I think the stuff that's rare is the stuff he's shown. That lateral quickness at that size is pretty darn good, and maybe the vision and acceleration will come. He's got an opportunity this weekend. We'll see if Chris Carson is inactive. It wouldn't be beyond Pete Carroll to mess with us and give Rashaad Penny a big workload. I'm not going to start him this week. But for example, if you're in a dynasty league, I wouldn't pay a lot for him. He's been a disappointment, and I can't promise you anything, but I see enough where if I could get him on the cheap, I might consider it. All right, let's take a look at my picks for Week 10 in the NFL against the spread. Good week in Week 9, 9-4 against the spread. I am on some weird teams this week. Once again, the way I make these picks is I come up with what I think the spread should be. I look at the lines. I bet based on which side I'm on. These lines are the opening Westgate Super Contest lines, and obviously may have changed a little bit by the time you see this, but the place where I wound up having the biggest difference was on the Eagles Sunday night. Obviously, I like them, and the biggest differences between my spread and the actual spread, those are the ones I will play in the Super Contest, and they are indicated by an asterisk. Okay, and let's wrap up the week. I'll show you 5 more things, empty out the notebook, 5 things that I think are interesting or maybe help you fill out your sense of what a player is or can do. Maybe he'll have already played by the time you see this because the Panthers play Thursday night, but this touchdown catch from Greg Olsen, you want to talk about ball skills? Okay, his foot doesn't work, and there are better all-around tight ends in the league, but Olsen, pretty slow now, he still has a ton of value for as long as his foot lasts, because you just don't find ball skills like this. I think you run him out there every single week. I fear this play from the Lions rests with a mental error by our guy, Kenny Golladay. So we'll take it a little bit slowly, and you can judge for yourself. Lions are in the red zone here. It's 7-3 Minnesota. 3rd down, 5 minutes left in the first half. This is a game, right? They're in this game. You're going to see Golladay come in motion and run through the backfield. Now watch what the left side of the offensive line does at the snap. It lets the Vikings defenders go. That's supposed to be a screen. Now take a look at what all the potential Detroit receivers do. Nobody turns around. And our guy, Golladay, is kind of the closest to Stafford. He's not turning around, and Stafford has nothing he can do except fall down, because that's what happens when you don't block anybody. I fear this was Galladay's fault. I hope this doesn't earn him the doghouse. At number 3, so the question you might have about Ryan Fitzpatrick from yet another game in which Tampa fell way behind and then threw a bunch to catch up is, did Fitzpatrick pull a Bortles? Kinda. This is 3 minutes into the game. It's 0-0, and Fitzpumpkin throws it 10 feet over Mike Evans' head. Now, watch it again. Clearly, Fitzpatrick thinks Evans is going to keep going, but there's a safety right there, and Evans stems his route because he reads the defense, and he knows he won't be open if he runs to that guy. Fitzpumpkin does not read the defense. Agreed, Tampa's QB has been a fountain of fantasy points. Just watch out. Just be careful. On the field, Fitzpatrick is Jameis Winston. Danger lurks. A couple Alex Collins plays. Ravens are off this week. Maybe I'm beating a dead horse. Collins isn't without talent, but here he catches one in the open field. He turns around, and I don't know, what is that? I know, he can Irish dance. That's an awful lot of open field for him not to cut up and make more out of this play. Another one from Collins, catch out of the backfield. Look at how much room he has. Run! What are you doing? Hesitating, not making a cut upfield, certainly not hitting any jets, because someone with real acceleration will threaten the outside, go up the sideline, and maybe make it. Gravy in his boots. And lastly, let's be positive. When did I know Melvin Gordon's hamstring was just fine? How about this run? That's got just about everything you could want. Acceleration through the hole, vector adjustment off one foot at the second level, power where he takes a big hit right across his midsection and keeps going. Remember when people looked at Gordon's yards per carry and decided he was bad at football? Melvin Gordon, good at football. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching this week. Hey, we are tantalizingly close to 20,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. And once we get there, I'm going to do another live Q&A. You can ask me questions on this channel live. So if you haven't subscribed, please do, and have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the games. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.